Hey, this is Alicia with Unstationary, and today we're going to make a festive palm tree. Now it's going to take about 30 minutes to make, but don't worry, this video won't be nearly as long as that. So make sure that you pause along the way in order to miss no details. All right, you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to kind of put out all of our pieces. So put all your leaves together. Put all your palm tree pieces together. Put your palm tree bases and your vase together, or your pots, okay? So they're gonna be corresponding colors, okay? And so here's the thing, we're gonna be using this fast grab glue. You can use Elmer's glue if you want to, or if you have a glue stick, you can use that as well. If you do use a glue stick though, I do prefer you guys or suggest you to use a extra strength, okay? And one of the things that you're going to hear me say often is that you can go only as fast as your glue dries, okay? So this is going to be a little bit quicker and it's going to be the one that I use. So feel free to pause if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to make the palm tree like stalk, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to get one of our palm trees bases. You have 6 pieces here, so this is 5 plus 1 equals 6, and you're just going to curve it, all right? So you're going to pinch it in your fingers, and you're just going to wrap it like that, just curl it. And when you do that, you notice that it has a bit of a natural curve to it once you do that. Now you'll see that there's these notches here, and this is called a box tab, okay? And you have these natural notches that I put in there. And when we wrap it, I want you to line up this side on the right hand side with the notches that are on the left. Okay? So that's how we're going to do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our glue. I'm going to go kind of back and forth on our tab, and we're going to glue, and we're going to hold it there for a second. Okay. All right. Now, you can kind of slide it back and forth. So you're definitely going to want it to hold it. Okay, and then once you kind of start letting go and it stays, you know that it's dry. Now my glue is going to be maybe a little bit faster than yours. Elmer's is kind of a slow glue to dry if that's what you're using. All right, and then you just kind of form it. Now, you probably noticed that we do have these little notches in here, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to bend those down. All right. Okay, so there you go. You got one done. Now, friend, you have 5 more to go. See you in a bit. Okay, so now we have our 6 things done, our 6 bases, and we have our tabs out. The next thing that we need to do is that we need to glue them all together, okay? And so I was using my glue stick, but now I'm going to go to this glue. So what we do is that we're going to put glue on each of our tabs, and then we're going to put one on top of it. Now when we put one on top of it, we want to make sure that we put all of our seams in the back, okay? And then we're going to just push it down. Now we don't want to jam it all the way in. The point is to have a bit of space, right? Because that's what's going to kind of make this layered look. Now here's the thing is that you can kind of train this while it's drying where you want it to go. If you want to keep leaning it to one side, eventually what will happen is that it will kind of, you know, curve that way. Or if you want it straight, you just make it straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that again over and over until I have all my 6 done. So again, line up the seams to the back and put them in. Now you can see that I'm like getting glue here And all I'm doing is I'm wiping it off. Now if I had my rag close, which of course I don't, I would just wipe that on my hand or on the rag. But if you just do this over and over and over again, what will happen is that it will dry and ball up on your hand. Okay, and then you can kind of knock it off. So we'll keep doing this. There you go. You can kind of see that I'm training mine to go to the right. Put more. Again, line up my seams. And I'm going to start training it to go the other way. I want to have a wonky one. Okay, almost done. Then we're going to show you how to do the base. Okay, so again, get my seams all the way to the back. All right, cool. So I'm going to let that dry. So there you go. So there is my fun palm tree base. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to wrap this. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing that we just did. So this is my palm tree base. This is what's going to help my palm tree kind of stay. Okay, all right, so can you get that glue? Okay, there we go. All right, now just going to hold it until it dries. Notice that I am sliding it to get it to where I need it to go. Okay. And then pretty much going to do the same things with these tabs too. I'm going to bend these down. Now you notice that there are these shutter tabs that are on the edge here, right? So those are going to be important. But what we're going to do now is that you're going to take this like starburst looking thing. We're going to bend all of those tabs away from you. Okay? Alright, and so as we did that, we kind of created this like circle, alright, and all these tabs are here. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to put glue on the inside of this. So using this glue, I'm going to squeeze and I'm going to rotate my thing as I get the glue all on the inside. Okay, so it's not pretty at all, but it doesn't need to be because nobody's going to see this. So I'm going to take this, my little circle starburst thing, my base insert, that's what I've named it, and I am just jamming it in there. Now if you have a paintbrush or a pencil, this is a good time for you to like insert it from the bottom and kind of help make that flat. Okay. And this is also like what I'm going to do is I'm pushing the tabs and gluing them to the edges, to the outside. Okay? Alright. So once I have that done, I'm going to fold now these. Okay? Now it's creating this double layer, so I have my finger in here. You can also use your finger if you have tiny fingers. And I'm going to put glue on the edge around. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty because no one's going to see it. And I I'm just going to push these down. All right, so if this is really good. If you have your bag here, what you might want to do is that you want to push it down onto the bag with your finger in there, okay? So if you have like a smaller finger, like a pinky finger, you know, you might want to just like push it down, or you can use the bottom of your X-Acto knife or a paintbrush or a spoon, or, you know, the handle of a spoon, or tweezers, you know, and just push it down, because you want all of this to be flat, okay? Because you don't want to get it on your table, that'd be horrible. Okay, and so you have your base. All right, well, what we're gonna do right now is that we're just gonna set this base to the side, okay? Because we need to get our vase done. So this is our pot. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did. You're gonna get really used to this whole kind of motion of pinching and curling. And what we're going to do is that we're gonna put glue on the tab, and we're gonna line it again with the notch, okay? So let's go ahead and get glue. And we're gonna glue it. We're just going to hold it while it dries, okay? And while we hold it with our left hand, we're going to just pinch these tabs inside, okay? Cool. All right, so once that's done, we should be able to take this circle into our vase, and it should fit perfectly, okay? But of course it's not glued, so it's kind of silly. So what we're gonna do, actually what I'm gonna do, is I'm just going to use the bag again to protect the table. I'm gonna put glue all the way around it, because it's gonna be a lot easier just to put a glue there. I'm gonna put this inside, and I'm gonna push it down. I'm going to continue to kind of wrap my finger around it. All right, now you probably have some guesses that we're going to do the very same thing with this one, and you're absolutely right. All right, so here's the thing though, is that this is so thin that you don't necessarily need to stretch or pre-curve the pot base, because it doesn't really need it. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and line up that notch. And while I'm holding it with one hand, I'm going to go ahead and bend these tabs down. All right. And as you can guess, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. So I'm going to put glue right here. I'm going to insert it inside. And I'm just going to kind of keep pushing it down onto the bag. All right. Twist it. Instead of trying to pull it off, I'm going to twist it off. Okay, and now we have our two pots, like our vase and our rim. And so again, there's a seam, right? And so what we're going to do now is that we're going to put glue. This one doesn't seem to be down, so we're going to put glue all on the bottom of this. We're going to line up our seams, and then I'm going to do the circle. Alrighty. So now we have our nice pot and our nice rim, which is fun. Okay. And so now you're probably wondering, what are we going to do with this guy? Okay, so So now, since this is double layered, right, we have a thing inside, an insert inside, and then tabs on top of it, it's time for us now to glue the base onto, we need to glue the base onto the vase. So again, using a lot of glue here. And I'm going to line up the seams, and I'm going to push this down. Now, you can use your finger, you can use your tweezers, you can use your paintbrush, you can use the, the end of a spoon, a dowel rod, whatever you need to do in order to push that in to make sure that it will stay. Okay? All right, well, you've probably been wondering, what is this sand for? Well, we're going to finally get to the point where we know where the sand is for. Now, the reason why we double layered this is because we didn't want the sand to pour out of the vase. And the thing is that the palm parts are really, really, really heavy. So this could be very, very top heavy. So in order to add weight, we're going to add our sand into the base. Now, this works really well as long as you keep the palm tree facing up, because there's the double, right? There's the double insert in order to make sure that the sand doesn't come out into the pot, but there is no double safe on the other way. So if you flip it over, you're gonna get glue everywhere. It's just gonna happen. Or not glue, sand. So be careful. You don't want that to happen. All right, so now we put our glue on our tabs like we did before. We line up our seam. And this one, you actually kind of put in as far as you can, as far as you want to. Okay, so I don't really want to dump my sand out, but this is as far as I want to tip it, so you can kind of see what I'm working with. All right, so now you can kind of tell that it definitely has some good weight to it. So now we can start adding our leaves, okay? And so we have some big leaves, and then we have some smaller leaves and whatnot. And so I'm not gonna do all of this for you, or all of this with you, but I'm going to give you a little bit of some tips. So what I want you to do is that in order to bend your leaves, it's a good idea to put your finger there, and you kind of just wrap the leaves around it. Now, if you have a dowel rod or you have an X-Acto knife, you can use that as well to shape it. And then from there, you curve it. And then starting out, we have these 3 tabs. So what I like to do is I like to put the glue onto the tab and let it just sit there. And so normally what I do is I always put the glue on the branch, on the inside of the branch, on the inside curve of the branch. Then I will use my finger, or I'll use a dowel rod, or use the end of an X-Acto knife, and I'll just let that glue stay there. Now I'm not gonna sit here and try to bend this down until towards the very end, when I know that it's already dry. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead again and use my finger and bend these. Okay, I'm gonna put my glue right here. I'm putting some extra glue right there, just to be safe. Place it in there, hold it with one hand, and then pushing it with another. Okay, cool. And then we have some others. Bend, and then curve. All right, and so pretty much what you're gonna do from here on out is you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to end up gluing the leaves kind of on top of each other, just filling up the space. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move this guy over to the side. I'm going to bring over this fella so you can kind of see. So one of the things that you'll notice is as you're bending, like as you're going, you're going to have a hole, okay? Because again, you're gluing around the edge. So what I recommend you do is that you take one of these leaves and you're actually going to glue the outside of the leaf. So this, so if it folds like this, right? If it's folding like around, instead of putting the glue on the inside, which is what we have been doing, you would put the glue on the outside and then bend it over. So you're hiding the hole with this leaf. Exactly like you see here. So anyway, I'm really excited to see what you guys have done. You did it! How was your paper craft adventure? I want to hear all about it. So if you could send me a photo or a video to Instagram at Unstationary Store, we would love to get those and share those and celebrate what you just did. Anyway, friends, if you have any questions or feedback, also contact us there as well. We'll see you soon. Bye.